Some men, they are working hard at their job, but when it comes about having a conversation with themselves, having a conversation about life, about their thoughts, about their emotions, they are hiding, man. They are hiding, and this pisses me off because they always have excuses. People don't make excuses. People have excuses because of their environment, because of their habits, because the way they treat themselves. Because a man who doesn't respect himself have all the type of excuses, that he's tired, that he's unmotivated, that the way Yes, sir.
Is it okay to park here?
Yeah,
Yeah?
of course.
I'm just taking the dog for a walk.
No
Okay,
problem.
cheers.
Yes, I got interrupted a bit, but I'm gonna keep talking because it's very important, this subject. Some men, I'm telling you, man, they find excuses. They don't make themselves, they don't create the excuses themselves. This is the interesting part. Because me back in the day, in 2019, I was a young kid, full of bad habits, full of bad vices, away from my family. I came in UK when I was 18 by myself, with no money, full of vices, and a hope that I can make some money, I can make a way of living decently. I had some dreams in my mind in that time. I wanted so bad a nice car. I wanted nice vacations. But I didn't know the purpose of man. I didn't know what my purpose was. I didn't know what I was truly looking for. I'm coming from a good family, a decent family. I always had food on the table. I always had love from my family, but I wanted more, and I know I could do more for myself and for them as well. But the problem was I was full of vices. I was smoking, I was gambling, I was alcohol addicted. Even beside the part that I was working hard, I like it to work. Since I was kid, my father was give me every single day little jobs to finish, trying to help my mom as much as I could. I was never good at school, to be honest with you. I cannot give the fault to the system, because even if the system is shit, I cannot give the fault to them. It was everything on my side. Everything was on my side. Everything was my responsibility to learn in school, but I didn't, because I was too focused on excuses, too focused on pleasures, on cheap dopamine in that time. And to come back to our subject for today is that men don't create excuses, they have inside them, and they need to have a conversation, a real conversation with themselves. Why they have these excuses every single time they try to accomplish a goal, when they try to accomplish a target above them? Why always they have these excuses? It is because their environment, it is because of their habits, it is because of their lifestyle. They need to have this conversation. Why they have these thoughts every single time they pop up in their mind, and saying to them that you are drained, you are unmotivated right now, you are tired, so you must take a fucking break. You don't have the right information, so you must go back to your old self and listen to me, because this is so powerful, man. I changed it from 100 kg, full of vices, full of bad habits, away from my family, no good friends around me, to 76 kg, six pack, no vices, no smoking, no drinking, no partying. But I found something else. I found myself by letting go of all the excuses I was having inside of me. I changed it once I stopped fighting the excuses. I change it when I start awakening, when I start acknowledge that I have the excuses and I can get rid of them. I have it inside me, the excuses, and I can get rid of them. This was so powerful to my life. Once I realized that it's inside me, the excuses, I don't create them, I just have them. I just have them, and I can get rid of them by acknowledge them, by see them, by being aware of them, and still do anyway the action. Give you an example, working 12-hour shift, sleeping 6 hours, but I promised to myself I will go to the gym in the morning. My mind in the morning, because I have the excuses, all men have excuses. All men. They don't create, they just have it. But they acknowledge that type of excuses in the right moment. They are being aware in the right moment of that excuses. And they still take action anyway. Wake up in the morning, 6 hours of sleep, going to the gym anyway. Even if your thoughts is telling you otherwise. Even if you feel tired. But because you said to yourself you're gonna do it, you just have to do it. That's how you fight excuses. Not by keep pushing towards that excuses. Not by trying to destroy your mind and emotional state. Trying to kill the excuses. No, you're just being aware of it. Acknowledge that excuses. Oh, why the mind is telling me that I'm so tired and that I cannot go to the gym right now? Why is that? Oh, because I was working so many hours at my job. Okay, and? Okay, and? My goal is here. I still have to do it. I still have to do it. I still have to take the action anyway. That's how you fight the excuses. Only in this way. Because think to yourself that, let's say you are at your job and you have a tough conversation with your coworker, pissing you off in some way. And if you come to him with the same energy it gives to you, you're not gonna find any solution to that problem. You're just gonna grow the problem itself. But if you are calm, if you acknowledge the problem, if you have a good conversation, that guy gonna lean in on energy. That coworker gonna lean into your energy because it's much stronger. It's much respected, a confidence and calm energy than the one which is screaming non-stop. To the one with showing that it's lost. So you, by coming to that conversation with a calm and respectful energy, you already win the conversation. You're already on top of the game. That's how you have to treat excuses. Not by fighting them directly with the same type of energy. This is what changed for me back in the day. I didn't know, of course, I wasn't aware what I was doing. But now that I'm mature enough to go back and reflect on what actually really happening, how the fuck I could change. In all that bad environment, with all that circumstances which was surrounding myself with, how I could change. And now I realize what I was doing without like me to even realize. That I will stop fighting excuses and acknowledge them, be aware of them, see them. They are there every day. But they become weaker because on the way I show up to them. They become weaker. And you know very well how it is when you have that tough conversation with somebody. When somebody pissing you off. You know well how it ends up when you go against with the same type of energy. Some men, they think having a conversation with themselves is fucking weak. Some men, they think having a conversation about this topic, they think it's weak. They think they weaken themselves. So you have just to fucking ignore everything outside. They think they have to ignore everything which is happening inside of them. But from there becomes everything external. Everything is materialized outside from themselves, because a man, when he creates something, it creates twice. Once in his mind, and second in the reality. So please, next time, whenever you find that the excuses come up to you, act with calm, act with respect, acknowledge the excuses, and do it anyway. Because only in this way you can actually achieve your goals. Only in this way you can achieve the body shape which you are keep dreaming of. Only in this way you can get rid of vices and bad habits. By acknowledge the excuses, by being aware of it, and do it anyway what you said you're gonna do. Only in this way, brother. Only in this way.